So this champion's been pretty popular in the top lane and pro play, but we're not here to talk about whether or not people should build Iceborne Gauntlet UDYR top lane. You shouldn't. You should never do it. But in the jungle, things are a little bit quieter for UDYR. However, he's still good. He has some issues executing, the will of what used to be a meta-defining kit, but at the same time, we have this, as you saw from the thumbnail, Liandry's, Frozen Heart, these things in combination. Beautiful. Now, it is also runnable on Nunu. You're seeing a lot of high-level Nunu mains, and we have, of course, one in the private server using this build. And UDYR can run it as well because it replaces the Demonic's Embrace. Frozen Heart's cheap, affordable, and useful. A lot of magic resist itemization choices. Koenig Recurrent default if you like, but that's also not true because, Force of Nature and Abyssal Mask, these all provide great value, and for UDYR, the Abyssal Mask can also provide a lot of great value. Spirit Visage is more for your, not your damage-doing tanks, but like your healing tanks, right? So the Volibears of the world enjoy that as well. So, let's see what we can do as UDYR. Here we started with the R on the Raptor camp, doing the boom, da boom, da boom. That means Raptors, Krugs, red, so that we can go Wolves, Gromp, blue, which means we can look for a gank, we can take a Scuttle Crab, and reset. And then when we reset, well, everything should be nicely synced up. Or we can stay out and go doof to doof again with a nice, smooth sequencing. So our bottom lane over here have shown themselves to be existing. For some reason, Maokai is in the game. I mean, really strong Korean support, perma-picked. It should be perma-banned at this point. As we see the Aurelia grab herself up a lead on the Jace. It's always useful. Woof, he chucks it. That's where you go back in the other bush. Now, yeah, UDYR is not the most engaging jungling that you see, but at the same time, we're seeing a lot of this, still a lot of fighting and ganking and contesting over these objectives. I love this from Master Yi cutting out before the UDYR to make sure that we get the gank off. The spell shield on the Maokai W is kind of hilarious. You gotta bait that out beforehand. And now UDYR can rotate over. This is what he does so well. He's got that Hecarim vibe right. I don't have Ghost. Sorry, I don't have Flash, but I have Ghost. Let me chase you down here. We want to make sure we hit a stun, but I don't think it matters. R should do the cooking. There we go. We'll stun to finish him off. Our ADC is being killed, which is great for us. We'll show up again. R active and another kill gain. So absolutely must head over to Virkayu.gg. I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers reach their goals, as we saw with the record number of people hitting them at the end of season 13. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to Virkayu.gg. We are 1-0-1, and that's why this champion's still good in the jungle. If you understand the itemization, the efficiency of itemization, and you understand, look, this is what my champion's good at in this meta. Like, if he can go top lane and do the things that he needs to do matchup-wise, and people are not building stupidly like QSS and Iceborne Gauntlet, then why can that not work in the jungle? And that's the thing, it can. I do understand that he has issues. I understand. But it's not like this is some pick that's going to make you lose and not climb. We are currently 1 point in every ability here. What makes him super duper useful with the Liandry's and obviously everything else is the slow as well as the damage from the empowered Wingborn Storm there. As you see there, max HP, magic damage, slow by an additional 5%. That's why we don't need Iceborne Gauntlet, by the way. And everything else here is pretty standardized. The W shield giving us that. We have the lifesteal from this as well. We have the unstoppable from the the Awaken empowered Blazing Stampede. Basically where you're unstoppable and you can ignore CC. That's why QSS is kind of funny as long as you stacked it up correctly. And obviously we are all familiar with, as we almost go back to finish them off, with the Wilding Claw, because while Demonic's Embrace tank UDYR became kind of obnoxious, and now we're back to that with the Liandry's tank, we had a period of that, max HP Assassination Prowler's Claw, empowered Q damage, right? It still hurts. Like, he'll still destroy you. But the AP ratios are kind of nutty. So, yeah. We'll see how this goes. Basically, what I like overall from this first rotation, you see here, we have the good sequencing, we rotate to a gank, you got the E to get there quickly, you got the Ghost to get there quickly, you got the sticking power as well because of your slows, and then we go back into the river, we do this. You can always gank mid lane if possible, otherwise you can go buff into this quickly, into this. Now, that's a great play if you are intending to give up these grubbies, which of course, I think a lot of sequencing junglers should do. Jace obviously is that that range prior over the Aurelia, even though she killed him. But we know the Yi started topside. He's going to pass down. He died. He's going to do this quadrant and then take these up. Nefuri has prior over the Fizz. And there's no real stress for us to force the grubs. I think that's also a big problem. Like, I'm not strong enough to fight the grubs. That's fine. Let's go ahead, get our Swifties, right? Which had a bug actually, 40% slow resist instead of 25%. So they fixed that, unfortunately. And obviously a Dark Seal, plus an Amptum. And because he started topside and went down here, and we see that, that's free Raptors, free Krugs. Watch the vision line with the minions. And here's the Master Yi showing up thinking, I have free camps. From here, you can dive, you can gank as necessary. We do have a Awakened stance fully loaded here. Okay, and we see the Master Yi come through the vision, so we can set a trap here. We've got Awaken basically, so what he's gonna do is use that R, he'll get the slow, he'll get the damage, and then he's gonna use the Empowered Q here to maximize the max HP damage, get the stun on the UDYR, and now we can keep going. We did activate the W there very briefly because of course we're in the middle of stuff. We're gonna stun the Karthus so we get knocked back by the Maokai, doesn't really matter, get another kill, and off we go. Because this is so big, right? You gain that shield, you heal up nicely with lifesteal, and when you're in the middle of a Karthus ISO Q, it's also good to do that. Here we activate the W again, keep those abilities churning and moving. Obviously here we get the root from the Karma, and we can just auto attack fully stack Conqueror and the Fury. Do we have anything? No, we have nothing left. We're dead. So the Nefiri, good run. We can't survive everything. Obviously, it's kind of sad, but now we have Haunting Guys. So let's see the damage that comes out from Haunting Guys. People always struggle with that though. It's the same with Rengar. It's the same with Nidalee. It's the same with a lot of these champions, these Elises, the Lee Sins. It's about weaving all of your abilities together fluidly. And obviously people in the game, in the zone, it's much easier to watch for us here. But really, go look at these people's replays. I give the match histories below. Go watch the replays, understand in slow motion why they choose what they choose, study it, right? You're not going to learn everything you need to know from one game, one scenario. You can understand, oh, this build is good, this suits the jungle meta, these are good jungle decisions. That's why I'm here, right? Pathing with these champions, the builds, talking a little bit about them, the whole experience of jungling better. But if you want to truly understand the abilities, right, when we use Empowered Q there, like down at the bottom, just to maximize the damage, saving our E to keep the Master Yi in place, because the R does more than enough, right, while it's on us, and we're not planning on leaving his vicinity. These things. Study the replays, my friends. Go watch them. Learn high-level mechanics through study, and then go replicate it. Don't replicate all of it. Replicate one or two of these things. Oh, so he trapped a Master Yi here. Okay, so he used the R to get the full Awaken activation. Then he just pressed that Q wildly and Clone went crazy. Then he's stunned, and then the Karthus comes out over. He uses that W. All right, keeping those abilities moving, because always with Awaken stance, you want to remember here, lowering that cooldown by using your abilities. And when he first was reworked, I remember saying multiple times that he gained movement speed by using abilities, because I forgot that they, not forgot, but like it's in our massive memory that they changed that. So yeah, it's just cooldown for your Awaken. So obviously you want to keep that going up as much as possible, and then you can access multiple Awakens in a row. So we get the stun here, we've activated the R as well, and of course, you just use your shield, you press your Q, you've got your cooldowns, the share cooldowns. Again, the R is doing a lot of damage here with the Haunting Guys. I wonder, can we track that here? No, we cannot. I'd love to track the Haunting Guys damage just from this R, like just keeping people within it. So here we go, we're waiting for that E, R is activated, E is up again now. Red is available here. We've got everything up. We've got 2 points in W now, obviously. RW, the standard stuff. Smite, stun, avoid, run, Phoenix, dead. And of course now we've got the Mega Shields. Karthus does nothing. Hello Maokai, again. Just running around with this all the time, active. The bottom lane here as we watch, I'm just watching the UDYR. You should watch the game, obviously, but at the same time I always like to tell people if the fight is doomed, just leave. Do your red, go back to the dragon, focus on what's important. 5 stacks now. Another Doom Fist, apparently. There we go. I'm wondering about the Leandry spike, though. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of it, honestly, because I know Nunu's, as I said, and Zax and all that run it. We understand how that works, but the UDYR, we're yet to truly see it kind of used too often. Gold Lead is decent at this stage. We've got the Mountain Dragon, but we lost the first 3 grubs. Master Yi, you know, goes top lane there. He's 0-3-1 now. And the Maokai's coming, so here we go. Full Awaken passive ready to go. Obviously, remember that enhanced Awakened R kind of travels with the target, or travels a little bit, so you want to make sure that you know when to hit that. We go for the stun. There we go. See, there's the Awaken. There we go. Now we're... Ooh! Okay. Now you see the damage from that. So we look at that and go, let's see the fight go through here. We got the stun. R is still active, flash burned out. The whole team is showing up here. Obviously, we have W, we have E, we can run fast. Not going to catch us. Total activated. Total Iron Mantle. And it's over for me. Here we go. Right? Here we go. Okay? We got the stun. Alright? And then we're going to activate it right here. There we go. Now this AoE zone, right, comes from here. Unleash a Storm. You can read that, right? Causing it to follow UDYR's last attack enemy, dealing 17.2 health, max health magic damage at this point, plus an additional 5% slow. That's in addition to everything else that he gets from the baseline. So now what happens is, because this obviously just stays on him, right? Like, this is like the old... Any of you remember the old Maokai ult? It stays on you, like you're the center of it. But this thing, watch this, watch it proc. You can see the procs as it goes through. You're going to see the Leandry's ticks, tick, 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 tick. Maokai gets caught up. Look at all of this damage that is going through onto this Nefuri. Really huge. The damage already is 119 bonus. See if by the end of this fight what it ends up being. Get the stun there, force a flash. Run away. 409. 409 Leandry's bonus damage. I know you can't see that, but I'd be pretty happy with that, not gonna lie. Like, that's pretty damn useful damage. But now we need to become unkillable while we have that. Master's taking all the grubs. Which means all of you are now saying, well, that's it, it's over. Because Jace, Yi, how are we going to stop them pushing? Well, my friends, relax. We are UDYR. We are strong. And we are counter jungling. 111 CS most of the game. This is what he does. 413, 7 out of 12 KP. Most CS in the game. Huge damage already. Insane survivability with his W. As well as the Mountain Dragon now. We put 5 points into the R. We got 2 points into the W. We're ready to go tank some stuff up. Maokai shows up here. Don't really care whatsoever. Level 9. Hello, Karthus. Phoenix is activated. We're going to smite him. We're going to stun him. He's stuck within it. Now we can activate the Wildling Claw. Woo! And tick, tick, quick Leandry's will get him. That's nice too, the fadeaway. You got to learn that fadeaway overall. He's the only guy that fist bumps as much. Now, you're worried about not having Paralysis Claw or Q tech. You're worried about not having the Onyx Embrace. Doesn't look like it's much of an issue when you get a lead, but did you notice how he got a lead? By sacrificing grubs. He focused economy. And whenever anyone goes for those grubs, they're leaving a quadrant available. Steal that quadrant. Gank the side lane where they're not. Use that to get a dragon. Boom. All of a sudden, 3 grubs means nothing in comparison. And that's the most powerful thing here. Especially when it comes to carrying the rest of your team. Like, Fizz is 1-2-2, Rel is 2-1-0, Silver's okay, but all the gold's on us. We were gonna base, but I think he's looking at this now, like I was looking at it. Here we go again. Stack, 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 stack. Awakened is primed, but we're just gonna go back to base, I think. 1500 gold. Yep. Warden's Mail is complete. No, not Fizz, not Fizz. Warden's Mail is complete. And in terms of itemization, I'm still a fan. Look, it's a guilty pleasure. I'm still a fan of the Volibear tech from last year and the year before. He's shit, but we're basically focused on getting Frozen Hide and Abyssal Mask. I think the amp up is really juicy, especially when you've got APs on your team, right? Not even for yourself, just for your team. That Empowered Phoenix does a lot of damage. Now it is 681. Oof. It's a lot. Look, you've got a good push here from the Sivir. You've won bottom lane with your presence. Mid lane is irrelevant. Top lane is largely irrelevant. She's doing okay, though. And here's where you want to be careful when you take a mid lane turret, though, because the map now sags in. So just be wary of the fact that when this is so, and you go farming and sequencing, thinking you're going to scale and relax, your team want to push, right? They want to push to end, and that's the way you get a lot of shutdowns. So you do have to be a little bit cautious about that. It looks like they're respecting this, though, and we're going to cut it for the dragon, so do be mindful of whether or not you need to keep sequencing for the dragon. Take this, cut into here, take this, push this out, or push in here. The macro is different every single game, but fortunately, I've got a nice video for you on the main channel, coaching for every rank. You can go ahead and watch that. But yeah, just be wary of your team kind of pushing up, you know, while you're farming it up. And we've had a few videos on the coaching channel and the main channel talking about this. Also in the coaching classes in the club, the private Discord, where people are just kind of chilling and scaling and their team just kind of wants to end. And when you're Master Plus, this happens a lot. That's why you see high elo players, when they go on Smurfs, just end games, don't they? They just get a huge lead at 20-22 and they're like, all right, push, 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 push. They don't go farming, chilling, and scaling. Which does suck if you're trying to test builds. I understand that. Let me just take the volume here, make sure the pings are muted. Yes, they are. And if your team can carry the business, this is what I'm talking about. When you're able to impact the bottom lane like this UDYR was, even though it doesn't look like the Sivir's doing anything super sexy, she has 7.1k gold to the Karthus having 5.0. And obviously, you know, Toots from the Discord is going to be crying because this guy rushed Malignance, and that's just tragic. But what are you going to do when you need a lost chapter? We have the Fizz pushing on the bottom wave, and now they're holding in, and I have seen enough coaching today with people throwing this game that I'm actually not even comfortable knowing if we're going to win. So we go back to base. We have Liandry's. Damage at the moment is 724. We have Frozen Heart, Efficient, Cooldown, Haste. Cooldown / haste, excuse me, I'm old, I keep saying cooldown. Mana, Armor, Swifties, 20% slow resistance, and now Winged Moonplate, which obviously we can build into a variety of items. Deadmans is kind of good, but I wouldn't really... You know, I like the idea of Deadmans on a lot of these kinds of champions, but I never really find a use for it. So, did you see this? Before we go into this fight here, did you see this? How the Civ is pushing up? What's UDYR doing? What's he doing? He's shadowing, right? He's shadowing the scenario. He's not going, right guys, let's go to do the Herald. Aurelia, want to do the... No. Sivir's the other person in this game that I need to win. Therefore, I'm going to shadow her, and if they try and collapse on her, which they do, I will kill everybody. Oh my goodness gracious, the Wingborn Storm Awakened stance is just burning down the Nefir. We're going to have the Alpha Strike from the Master Yi, and obviously pull back another R. There's the Makai Ultimate. We have On mode activated in case we need to stun him again, but we just tick, boom him with that R. And remember that Empowered, that Awakened Wingborn Storm chases and does a lot of damage. This might be a mistake. Except it's not, because you have Frozen Heart and W and Lifesteal and Healing, and you can empower that as well if you need to. We're going in slow motion here because the Phoenix is just tickling people down. Let's look at the damage now. 1400. In that fight alone, my friends, let's speed this up. He doubled the Liandry's damage in that fight alone with 2 Phoenixes regular and 1 juiced up, right? 1 set on fire. And now obviously you've got a Karma, you've got your own W, you cannot die here. And that was just with Frozen Heart, and I wish we could still see the damage blocked. Because even if that's not, you know, necessarily tracked anymore, I wish they would put it in. It's nice to see what Frozen Heart actually does. But yeah, 10 Dark Seal stacks plus Liandry plus Frozen Heart plus a shield in your kit or a heal in your kit equals a lot of things will go your... Oh, here it is. See? Look, I told you guys. Why? Why is this here? It's always in random places in my replays. Always. I zoom out and there's just a random hand all the time. Now, I need someone to comment that they see that, because I don't know if I'm going insane. It's always in the replays and no one ever says anything. I don't know if it's just me that sees it. We take the Herald, which people have been asking, is it good? Yes, it is good. Obviously, we empower the Wingborn Storm here again, chasing down the last target we attacked. And we've seen a lot of empowered Qs as well. They still do a lot of damage here, but obviously we'll have the shield. There's the shield. Nefiri gets stunned. Whoa! And the Phoenix does the damage again. And now the Liandry's is at 1790 damage. And obviously it's not called Phoenix, it's called Wingborn Storm, excuse me. Karthus? You're dead? Didn't even see him. Just died. 916. 2.5 item spike. So when I talk about 9,000 gold, 6,000 gold, 10,000 gold as junglers, why? Because that's what this is. The 6 to 10k range of gold is when a jungler takes his early game advantage, buys the right items, makes the right decision, and that's when you win games. Every single time. No matter the season, no matter the meta. That's why I like to speak the way I do so generally about pathing, because if Riot makes a change in 6 months, this principle's still going to be the same. It's still the same thing. If they change the map back, everything I'm saying right now will still be exactly the same. And when you have a jungler behind you, even though we gave up 6 grubs, you see that, right? You guys remember this? We gave up 6 grubs this game. Exactly what I was telling people in coaching today. They were playing stuff like Briars and Belveths and Graves and Viegas, and I said, guys, just give up the grubs. If you don't need them, just give them up. It's okay, because what does that enable? Counter jungling here. If someone commits to a 5-minute grub snack, their second quadrant is respawned, and someone in the private Discord named B-Man once asked me, what are the best camps to counter jungle? And I said, I love the second respawn. Whether it's the first quadrant respawn or the second quadrant respawn, it's a back-breaking move because it denies level 5 or level 6 by such a huge amount. And that's what this UDYR did. And the Yi never recovered from this. But he got his grubs, right? He got the grubs, so he should win, right? And that's why those lower elo perspectives do not count. Sorry, guys. I'm sure you're all lovely people, but when you obsess over grubs, you know, I get a little bit I just roll my eyes a bit. Now, here, obviously, they're all pushing turrets. And look at this. You see this? He almost got sucked in. Even this guy, high elo UDYR player, was like, gotta keep farming. Gotta keep farming. And he realized, wait a second. Wait, my team are pushing. They want to actually end. Oh, I better join. I'll activate the Herald. I'll go for a ride in the Herald. And he actually hits it. Here we go. Huge. Huge. I don't know how to process that. I would have personally hit the turret, but I think he wanted to go for the flank in the bottom wave, which I think maybe is just even more genius. What kind of eagle-eyed vision did this guy have that he was like, you know what, let me just take this train to the bottom lane, I'll go grab some kills. That's quite funny. That's quite funny. I enjoyed that. More than I should, because I still think you should go and smack the turret down. But of course, when you have such a big lead, why leave things to chance? Just show up and get some kills. Here's a Jace. Obviously, we have Ornn mode activated, Total mode activated, Phoenix mode activated, Ornn mode activated, get knocked back, go back in. Why would you go back over the wall? But now we have empowered abilities now. Let's see. There we go. There it is. Look how long he survives. Just watch this. Are you seeing this? We've got the shield, we've got Force of Nature, we've got Frozen Heart, and now I know it's been tweeted by certain personalities in the esports scene, why is anyone doing anything other than Koenig Recurn? Because, as I said in the beginning of this video, each magic resist item has a good purpose. If they don't have burst, this is amazing. You can't see the bottom. It says while at 8 stacks, gain 70 magic resist. 70. Gain 70. That's a huge amount of bonus magic resist, especially if you can stack that sucker up. So, taking magic damage just makes you stronger. It's great versus your Cassius, it's great versus the Karthus here, it's great versus the Maokai here. This is a very good buy because of the movement speed proc as well. They do not have enough magic burst on the enemy team to justify getting Koenig Recurn, right? They just don't. So we might as well just go for the Force of Nature. And obviously we have Abyssal Mask if you want to amp up damage, but you know, I feel like this is a better buy in my opinion. And movement speed is so big as well. So when you talk about these kinds of games, and people always complain like, oh look, he just won the game easily. Trust me, I make videos on every single rank every single week, and I coach every single rank every single week, and I coach a lot of different champions. The difference between this UDYR right here winning this game in the exact same, like keep everything else consistent and replace the UDYR player and, you know, with any other rank, Diamond, Emerald, Platinum, whatever, Gold, and you give him the early game. You tell him exactly what to do in the early game, so he does exactly what this UDYR does in the early game. But then you don't tell him what to do 12 minutes and beyond. You don't tell him what to build, you don't tell him where to path, you don't tell him where to go. He would lose this game. You could easily lose this game. And that's a big difference when people don't think about a lot. And it's just weird to me that we can make such great high elo content with such cool games, good games, well itemized games, good decision making. Look at that. Look. Tick, 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 tick. Entries, tick, 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 tick. Max HP. We'll look at the damage in a second here. Just look, surrounding myself with pure magic damage. And again, here's a little bit of a rough position, but it doesn't matter. Look at this. Look at him survive. I mean, it's disgusting. And this is an efficient build. Liandry's Frozen Heart plus magic resist item. Oh, amazing. You don't need more than this. Like Nuno plays as well. You don't need more than this. It's just game over. 25 every single time. Incredible. 3,745 damage from Liandry's with this R max into W max combo. We got 2 and E now. Obviously, we'll go for that next. And even then, despite this, he used his Q max for a kill down here early. And he just ensured that he had the movement speed to stick to people and take them down with Wingborne Storm. UDYR Jungle is fine. You just gotta know what to give up, when to hit, where and when to hit the right pressure points in terms of counter jungling, and obviously build correctly. And I do advise building like this. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.